welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. Okay, so I have two people next to me that I'm almost at a point where I'm not going to need their service because I don't know where my hair is going. With me is Paul and Angie from Black Sheep Salon. Get it right so far?
You're doing great.
I try to get it out in the beginning because at my age you forget everything. Okay, so a couple of things that I do know. I do know that your industry is kind of a niche industry, kind of like the hospitality industry. Like salon people kind of group together and go out and hang out.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, why did you get into it?
Well, do you want to?
Angie, do you want to
you
go first?
Sorry.
Ladies first.
I think actually I got into it when I was younger.
Okay.
I liked fashion, I liked hair, and I liked makeup. And it wasn't such a great idea for me to go to college, so I went into a trade school instead, and that's kind of how I got into the cosmetology field.
Yeah, it's interesting because college was not my thing, and I got a scholarship to trade school, and I went there. Now, that was 100 years ago, and I don't do what I graduated there for. I did go to night school, college, because at one time I was an optician. I did 8 million jobs. When you decided to go to cosmetology school, did you have family support?
I did. It was actually my mom's idea.
Okay.
I was 15, going on 16
Wow.
when I went in.
Okay.
So yeah, when I graduated with my cosmetology license.
And you were young then when you
Yes,
graduated.
very.
How long is the course?
For me, because I did it through my senior year of high school, so it was
Okay.
2 full years then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you get into it?
I actually didn't want to get into it.
Okay.
I was I was young and I was 15 and got a job working somewhere, and someone kind of convinced me to do it, and it was a similar thing. I did trade school before doing college, and it's a great way to make money kind of quickly, honestly. And I ended up loving it, so I do love it. But I
You
don't know
have
if-
to.
Yeah, I don't know if I
'cause
would have chose it, but I do
You're
love it.
crazy enough to have opened your own salon
Yeah.
and become an entrepreneur. That takes a craziness, and it's all in its own.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so you decided that you worked at other places first?
Yeah, I did. And I think I did a little bit of everything, which I think Angie has done too. I rented a chair and I worked for a corporation. I tried working for a small salon, and
There's so many different
There's
aspects
so many,
of
yeah.
stylist. Yeah, so many different ways that you can be a stylist. And
Well, I think in the cosmetology field, there's also you can do color.
yeah, there's
You
not
can
only
do
a lot of
cut.
things you can do,
Yeah,
but
you
then
can
there's a
do
lot of
nails.
different ways to do
You
it.
can do now eyebrows and.
well, right,
chin.
and that has actually opened up since I've done. Since I started. When I started, you pretty much did everything all the time.
Yeah.
And then it did change to where people kind of more compartmentalize.
Departmentalize, yeah.
And then
When we went to school, it was very Steel Magnolias kind of, you know what I mean? It
Very
was,
much so.
It was, your beautician was your beautician. She
Right.
did your nails, she did your massage, she did it all. And nowadays it's you can just do brows or just do extensions.
Right. Well, when I was younger, it was a barbershop. We
Mm-hmm.
went to Dad's barbershop.
Yeah.
Okay.
More of a gentleman's type
No,
of barbershop.
Yeah, there was usually 0 women ever went through it. Now, you go to a salon, and I went to a salon last time, and there was 8 people, 3 women, 2 guys,
Oh, yeah.
2 kids. I mean, everybody.
It's very mixed now, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, does that affect business for you guys?
I think it can make it challenging because instead of focusing on one particular thing, you do have to kind of open up your arms a little bit more to everything. So even we've talked about that too with some of the people we train, they're so nervous to do something like a clipper cut because maybe that's not what they were expecting to be. But you kind of do need to know how to do everything.
You do, and the lines have crossed so much.
Yeah, they have, yeah, for
to
sure.
where barbers do men's hair and women's hair, and cosmetologists do men and women's hair.
It's
Okay.
virtually the same thing.
Almost, yeah.
The only slight little difference is barbers shave
Right.
and cosmetologists, we can do nails.
Right.
That's literally the only difference.
You do extensions.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I always get a kick, sorry women, about how women want a real guy, but they're with their extensions, their false eyelashes, their false nails, the whole 9 yards. Nothing's real, okay?
Listen, but a woman's not going to argue with you if you wanted to wear false eyelashes.
It's true.
You know, I think it's, what month are we in now?
It's
July.
July. So, I think it's April. I wore blue nail polish on each of my one finger.
To match your outfit.
No. Okay, we discuss it. I'm a Buffett person. I don't care what I'm wearing. No, I think April is child abuse,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
and 1 in 5 people get abused. So you wear blue 1 in 5.
On one
Okay.
nail.
Mhm.
Okay.
So everybody asks me, "Are you gonna do the rest of your nails?" And we do it so people can ask us.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
yeah.
we can do that.
So it worked.
Do you do nails? Any of you guys?
We don't do it. We don't offer any nails.
Okay.
No.
So you offer extensions.
Yeah.
And we were talking in the green room. So you do extensions, but you like to do color.
Yeah, we do extensions, we do color, all hair services. We also do some skin services as well at our
Oh,
salon.
do you really?
Yeah. We have clinical estheticians too, so they do
So
clinical.
almost like more a spa setting.
A little bit, yeah. So we have a different side to the salon that's a little bit more of a spa,
That's
because our
cool.
main part of the salon is it's a pretty hyped up
Yeah.
side. You
Is
know,
it?
it's you know fun music
We like, yeah,
and it's
we,
busy.
we
and,
like to be energetic.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
Like you'll get a glass of champagne or an espresso,
oh, okay.
whatever
Now I know
direction
where
you
to
want to go.
However you're feeling that day.
So here's the thing, because obviously I don't know. When I go to get my hair done, the little bit I have left, sometimes I use a scissor.
Mhm.
Sometimes I use a
Just the clipper.
clipper.
Mhm.
How do you decide what you're going to use when you do hair?
I think a lot of times it's a good consultation when you talk to your client to figure out what tools you're going to use, and then of course what you're comfortable with. But ultimately, it's about the look that you're wanting and what your client is wanting.
I'm easy. How do you do hair? I push it to the side and just above the ear. The back grows like no one's business, and the rest doesn't want to glisten. So, do you have a lot of male clients that come in?
We have our good share. Yeah,
Yeah, do you?
absolutely.
Especially now because more men are wearing their hair long.
And they're
Okay.
getting
Yeah, so-
chemical services
yeah,
now.
They
I
want
mean,
a little
color.
Yeah, they want a
Well,
little
and
highlight,
and
a
and
little
texture.
keratin,
Texture's
yeah.
coming back
Really?
as well. Yeah, all that trend of
The younger men are getting more perms again.
Ugh.
I
Yep,
know.
it's coming
But
back.
it's definitely
Not
coming
one
back.
thing I
They're
like
getting
is that-
highlights.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's at least one 15-year-old boy a week that's coming in. He doesn't know
Absolutely.
how to ask for it, but he's
Really?
asking for it.
Yeah.
See, I have to dye my hair because it almost looks like I have no hair when it's this gray. Okay? So on camera, just like it says you gain like 10,000 pounds,
Uh-huh.
well, your gray hair almost looks like you have no hair. So I used to use that simple stuff that 2 washings and it's gone.
Like just for men or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? So now my thought is to go into something more permanent. Does that, and I hate to say it this way, but does permanent color ruin your hair?
No, absolutely
question,
not.
though.
I mean, it can.
Right.
It can.
For sure.
There's a lot of science behind it, and you can't just go grab a box or a tube of color, throw it on, and expect expected results. However, if done correctly, you can still maintain good integrity of your hair while coloring it.
Especially if you're just going darker.
Right. Yes.
or gray
absolutely.
blending.
So my wife gets her hair done, and then she's told that she can't use the pool. by
I
the
think
way.
because I think we saw your wife is blonde.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So she can use the pool, but
Oh,
There's
hold on. Let's step back.
no. There
Is
are.
she blonde? Is really going to be the true question.
Yeah.
Well, that is one reason why she needs to be careful with the pool. So there are
Chlorine.
steps that
Right.
she wants to take. Yes,
yeah.
of course.
And that's, I say this all the time. Always use a professional. Okay? So if you're going to go to the store and buy a Flowbee, and I go back that far.
I had
We
I
talked
had
about
a
the
Flowbee when
Flowbee.
I was
Did you?
I had a Flowbee haircut for a long time.
I'm like, use a professional. I remember the first time my dad cut my hair. The only time because he cut the bottom of my ear. Okay.
He didn't use a Flowbee.
No, he uses scissors.
Yeah, if you had to use a Flowbee, he wouldn't cut your ear.
Guys come in. Do you do a shave too?
No, none of us shave because we don't have any barbers, so no
Okay,
shaving.
No shaving.
But definitely we have cultivated a longer hair men, men that have longer hair and they want to get a nice scissor cut and they don't want to get just a clipper
Right.
cut. We definitely attract more of that. And I think honestly if you talk to a barber, they probably appreciate that because now they can focus more on their clipper work instead of having that occasional guy come in. They're like, "Oh, I want a long-haired layered haircut." And
Right. Well, it's so different because I go
It
in,
is, yeah,
cut
for
my
sure.
hair.
Mhm.
Okay. Vic goes in and it's like, all right, this time I'm gonna get highlights and lowlights, or this time I'm gonna come in and she's gonna do this, and it's a science because color is a definite science,
Mhm.
because it doesn't get, I hate to say it, it doesn't get complete the first time. She has to go back a second time 6 weeks later to add whatever else she's gonna add. It's just
Well, it grows.
it's a process. Yeah, but it's like, I forgot what she said, but like to lighten it, you can't go from dark to light in one shot.
Well, no, to keep the integrity
Keep
of
it
the hair,
healthy.
yeah,
Yeah.
to keep it healthy, you do sometimes have to take it in steps.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can really, really hurt and damage the hair.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can go 0 to 60,
Uh-huh.
real quick, but, the hair might not be in the most.
Is perming a hair not healthy for hair?
Like a permanent wave.
Yeah.
It can be okay for the hair, just the same as any other chemical.
But it is
Again,
stronger than bleach.
It is stronger than bleach.
So it's stronger than lightning. So when people get nervous about highlights damaging,
Right.
a perm is stronger.
Well, and then
Wow.
mixing chemicals can kind of be a little dangerous as well.
And with a perm, 5 minutes a difference. If,
Right.
if it's done at 15, that extra 5 can really process
How about
it.
going the other direction? How about going from curly or wavy hair to straight hair?
That can also
Yeah.
be quite dangerous.
But they have some amazing products
They
out
do,
nowadays.
they
Like
do.
we carry 7 different products for smoothing, and they go at very very mild to strong, and even the strongest one is not damaging.
And you hear all these things about curly irons and about this and that, and we were just talking about how if you have straight hair, you want curly hair. If you
Oh,
have
yeah.
curly hair, you want. My daughter's hair is amazingly curly,
Mhm.
and every time I see her, it's straight. So
Yeah.
she straightens it constantly.
Yeah, we get it. We get
Right.
it too. We're
Do
the
you?
same way. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
If you got dark hair, you want to be blonde.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to use a professional. Otherwise, you're going to be. The philosophy for me is, if you don't use a professional, it's going to cost you 5 times more,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Or
10
more.
times and 10 times more in aggravation or frustration. Okay.
Or you might not even get what you wanted because you already have done.
You
Sometimes
already did
damage
the
is done.
damage, yeah.
Well, I'm scared when I started to do this little bit of dye in my hair.
Mhm.
I didn't want to do like the permanent dye because I was afraid that my hair would be orange, because I didn't know really what I was doing.
I don't even think I would do permanent. Would you do permanent on this?
No,
wouldn't
I
do
don't
permanent
think I
either.
would either.
Because when you have really short hair like yours, permanent has a really hard line when it grows. So when you get a haircut, you can really see.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Right.
so it's sometimes better to do non-permanent and let it fade a
Because
little
it
bit.
will fade out.
It'll
and be
look more
softer.
natural, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like.
Otherwise, you're a slave to your hair color, and then you gotta
Right, you're
keep
not trying
doing
to
your
fool
haircut.
anybody that you're,
Old?
never, no,
You can say it. Older than dirt.
no, what I mean, but that you don't have any grays whatsoever.
No, I
you know,
like the gray.
Exactly.
If it wasn't that, you can't.
You just don't
see
want
it.
it as white.
So
Yeah.
a permanent will cover it completely to, and you wouldn't want that. Cause
No,
then you're
I don't
gonna
want
have So something that's softer, like a DemiPermanent, will kind of be softer and show some of your natural.
All
It'll
right.
wash with it too, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Using your intelligence, that's why I have you guys here. How long does that last as compared to?
So that generally lasts about 4 to 6 weeks, which is
Okay.
perfect because that's about when you need a new haircut as well. So you can
need
kind of
hair to
set
have
that
a
up.
haircut. Okay.
Your hair still grows.
You still gotta get a
It's
haircut.
still grows.
Everybody says, "Would you get a toupee?" No, I don't think I'd ever get a toupee. Well, what are you gonna do? Would you shave your hair? No, I'm gonna let nature take its course, and whatever be will be. I don't know. If I lost all my hair, I don't know if I would be happy with that, or
Well,
if
it's about how you feel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If you look in the mirror and you're like, hey, I'm fine with the way it's going,
then that's
then that's
what
great.
it
Yeah,
is.
and then there's some people that look in the mirror and then if it's within our control,
well, then there's smart people like me that don't look in the mirror. Okay, because for me, the back of my head grows really really fast.
yeah, sure.
Okay, so I can almost flip it over my head and do a pullover to the front of my head.
Maybe you need to find
See-
a Flowbee online.
Well,
and
no,
you-
it works perfectly. So when the back of your hair needs trimmed, that's when you would get your DemiPermanent color.
Yeah.
Okay. I know when my wife goes to get her color, it takes like 4 hours. Does it take a long time to do color?
It doesn't have to.
It doesn't,
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't have
It
to.
just depends on the service that you're doing. You know, color it can be such a broad range.
I think an average blonding service would be about 3 hours, though.
Yeah, because
To be done correctly, because you don't want to rush it. You don't want to go
Right.
too. I mean, it's just like cooking, you know. I mean, if you want to cook chicken quick, you can. If you
But
want,
you don't want to eat it raw.
you don't. Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
You know,
want it to
if you
turn
want to
out.
roast it for 3 hours, it might taste a little better.
Right. Okay, so you do extensions.
We do.
Are they
yes.
popular?
Very much so.
Are they?
Yes. You wouldn't believe the people that are walking around with extensions that you
I think a
run
lot of
into.
people that say like I don't want to do extensions because they think it's gonna look obvious, but there's a lot of people that have them that
Yeah.
you would never expect.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that have them that look obvious.
Oh, definitely.
And that's why you
Yes.
use a professional.
Well, you know,
Always.
that
yes.
Walmart visit at 2 a.m., you're gonna see some clip-ins on top.
Yes, I am sure. You know,
We see them too when we go out. I mean, we get it
Yeah.
too. So we can understand why people are nervous, but really
So-
the best extensions you don't know are extensions.
but how long do they last?
It depends on the
honestly,
technique.
yes.
It does, but most of the time you do have to maintenance them between 6 to 8 weeks. But
So-
the extensions themselves, the actual hair, can last up to a year, year and a half.
So when you go in to do your regular hair, you just work your extensions.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
just work it
So you
right
do it
into
all-
your normal maintenance.
Everything. That's pretty cool.
And they have some really incredible techniques now to where you're not there for 5 hours. You know, Angie does a lot of wefts and she does a lot of eye tips and the
Which are
maintenance on
what?
those-
Because you're talking to an idiot here when it comes to that stuff.
It is a whole kind of piece of hair
Okay.
that's about the size that would wrap around the head
Okay.
and give a whole section,
Okay, so you're not
a whole
doing
unit.
a piece
I
at a
guess.
time. you're
Right.
doing
It's not little
almost a whole-
pieces,
yeah.
little strands, which we do those as well, and just depending
Are you
on
comfortable
kinda
with me
what
lifting
you're
your
looking for.
hood?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can see.
So if you look, she actually has
I have
a
a
weft in right now, and these are put onto a row of beads that go all the way around,
Oh, wow.
and then it's just sewn on. And so there's no glue, there's no tape, there's
When
no.
you take a shower, does it?
I just shampoo my hair like I normally would. You know,
Really?
I'm mindful that I have them in my hair, of course, with any extensions, you know, but other than that, I just treat
But
them.
someone with really fine hair, I mean, it makes a real big
Mm-hmm.
difference.
Sure.
Yeah, I can understand that because
Yeah.
I know people that, ladies that had hair and they were losing their hair.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I wear extensions, is because I have an autoimmune disease that,
Okay.
that causes my hair to not grow super well. So
Okay.
And a lot of women that go through breast cancer,
Mhm,
any
yep.
kind of cancer treatment, and
Right.
they lose their hair, and you know they're used to having longer hair. Like your wife has nice, full, thick hair.
Right.
To go from that to none, it would be nice to have a little bit of a transition period in between.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
extensions they're great. They are useful. Summer can be a little rough on them in Florida, but yeah.
I mean, I kind of get that if you do things for the right reason, then you should do them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get where you're going with that.
If you don't do them for the right reason and you do them for other reasons, meaning not how you feel about you, but how
Mhm.
someone else sees you, okay? And we
Well,
were
we
talking
have-
about that
Yeah.
about getting dressed up,
Yep.
because I'm a parrot and I'll dress anywhere. Yeah, well, please. But sometimes you have to kind of conform, as long as you're not changing your whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, the scenario is, you know, I go to church on Sunday, and I see people dressed in golf shorts, and I'm just, that doesn't sit well with me. And I, not that I would ever wear golf shorts, but I would wear shorts, but I just don't think the church is a place to dress like. I don't think you have to dress up. I went yesterday was Sunday. I went yesterday like this. Okay, I wore a plain
Jeans
shirt
and shirt.
jeans. Yeah, yeah.
But you don't want to show your knees.
No, no, and I don't think anybody wants to see my knees, so it's okay. I mean, I
It
don't.
should be about scripture, not about your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody judging me because you're in church. You shouldn't be judging me in church. But same thing with what you call it.
But we do see that in the salon, though, sometimes. Some women do come in and they might mention, you know, my husband likes this or my boyfriend likes this. And I think we're all pretty good. We actually kind of live by a good code of like, hey, I mean, we're doing one person's hair.
Right.
not 2.
Yeah.
Right.
So do what's best for you.
Right. Right.
Do what's gonna make you feel good.
There's not one time that my wife finishes at the salon and calls me up and says, I said, how'd it go? She always says the same exact words. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it.
You don't like blondes?
Yes, I love blondes.
Oh.
Okay. But last time she went, she said, well, I want my hair to look a little darker.
Uh-huh.
You know, but it doesn't matter. Her hair's still blonde. She spoke about doing red. And I said, if you want to do red, do red. I mean, that
You
could
don't
change
like
who
you don't
I
like
know.
the high maintenance aspect.
I
of
don't
it,
have
right?
any maintenance. It's her hair.
Yeah.
Okay. She takes a shower at 7 o'clock at night. 7 o'clock the next morning is still wet. Okay. Her hair is not only long, but it's thick.
Yeah.
Her hair is a thick, thick mane of hair. It's unbelievable. What's the top of our time? How do people find you? You have a website?
We do.
Which is?
BlackSheepSalonFL.com. You can find us on Instagram. We also have booking online. You can call us. You can text
What's
our
the
front
number?
desk. Phone number is 772-444-3582.
Guys, thank you for coming on. Use a professional. It's so important. Check them out. It was a pleasure.
You as well.
Thanks so much.
We'll be right
Appreciate it.
back.